So everybody online has been telling you how to get 100K or 500K for your business with no PG, no personal guarantee, and how you should never have to use your social to get money for your business. Now look, most of what people are spitting out there is lies or big exaggerations of how it really works. So let's talk about how long it really takes to get funding no PG and what you should be doing if you really need more money for your business. First, let's talk about what business credit is versus corporate credit, because I think a lot of people get confused in this area. So when you're getting credit for your business that does not report to your personal credit and it does not require your social security number, usually that is going to be called corporate credit. With that, your business is strong enough for a lender to solely rely on your business to get you approved for whatever amount of funding you're going after. Now, business credit is something where, again, you're getting money for the business and it won't report to your personal credit profile in most cases, but it usually does still require a personal guarantee, and you will most of the time have to use your social security number to obtain this form of credit. So a lot of times people are saying business credit when they're really talking about corporate credit in regards to not using your social and not having a PG. Now let's talk about those vendor accounts. Now, vendor accounts are what most of you guys have heard of when you are first getting into trying to build up your business's credit score. And if you're doing that, of course, you're usually doing that because you want to ultimately be able to get money for your business without using your personal credit. Now, those vendor accounts are going to be net 30 accounts where you have to pay them within 30 days. You can get what you need up front, and you just have to pay them later. And these are going to be, the popular ones that we've all heard of: Quill, Granger, Uline. I believe it's one called Creative CEO, something like that. But these are various smaller accounts that you would get to try to build up a track record of you receiving something ahead of time and paying it on time to build up what's usually going to be your Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score or your scores with one of the business credit bureaus. Now, what people would have you to believe is that by doing this, by getting these little accounts and getting something and paying them off really quickly, that's going to build up your business credit score. And then ultimately you're going to end up getting, $500,000 in business funding without using your social. But you have to really think about this from the bank's or the lender's standpoint. When you're getting these accounts, you might be doing something like buying batteries or whatever it might be that you're buying from these places. And usually they do have a certain credit limit that they approve you for. They may not tell you what that limit is, but that limit might report to your business credit profile. And usually for these accounts where you're only spending like the bare minimum, $50 here and there, or maybe $100 here and there, it's not really showing that you have a high credit limit with those accounts. And it's also showing that you're not spending a lot of money on those accounts. Also, keep in mind, you can build up your score really quickly by paying these things on time. Like usually, you can build it up after maybe, 60 days or 90 days. Some of these accounts report, every 30 days, some report every quarter, but you can get your score up, that is your business credit score, really high, really fast. And it would seem like, okay, this should translate over into me being able to get that money. But the truth is, when lenders that use corporate credit or other versions of that corporate credit, they can see that you've only been spending a little bit of money with these particular vendor accounts. So they're not about to give you, 50,000 or 100,000 or $500,000 just because you've been, buying batteries off and on and spending less than $50 every month. So in 90 days, you can build up a strong business credit score, but it might still not be enough to get you what you're looking to get for your business. And then with these accounts, you're literally only spending money at these particular places. You don't have money that you can use anywhere. And then the next step or layer on top of that is there are tiers to the different types of accounts you want to get to start building that business credit. And then, when you go to the next level up, then you are probably getting items that are more useful. Like you can go to Dell and get a line of credit for your business with them. You can go to Sam's, you can go to a few other places, but usually the amounts of money that you're getting are going to be in maybe the few thousands range, if that. And it's still going to be a matter of if what you're able to get with this credit is something that you actually need in your business. And if you, again, can use it for all of the other various different things that you might actually need to purchase for your business. And really, when you look at the time frame of how you want to do this, you might be spending 90 days with that first tier of stuff at Quill and Granger and all of that. Then you might spend another 90 days at the next tier, then another 90 days. And ultimately, what you really have to have is a bunch of vendor accounts reporting on your credit profile, because the lenders that will give you money like this, they want to see that you do have multiple accounts, not just a high score, but multiple accounts. But then they also want to see that you've had high amounts of money as well, in regards to them wanting to give you high amounts of money using this method of trying to get funding. So at the end of all of that, you might need to have like 10 or 15 accounts, and you would really need to make sure that you're spending large amounts of money over all of this time, which could be, anywhere over the course of, 9 months to a year, going through the tiers. Build up your business credit like that and just have enough accounts. And then you have to be spending a lot of money in order to make the business credit profile work for you. And then that's still not even it. Another layer that gets overlooked is that a lot of these places that are circumventing using your personal credit and using your business credit profile, they want to see that you're making money and that you have revenue. So those of you guys that are just starting up a business and you're about to take this route, at the end of the day, they're still going to want to see that you're making revenue, and you might not be making that yet. And when it comes to how much revenue they might want to see, on average, it can be a few million that they're looking for your business to be making in order to give you true corporate credit that's not tied to your personal social security number through a PG, and that doesn't report to your personal credit at all, and where you don't have to use your social at all. They are going to want to see a strong business credit profile, or at least that's going to help you. But ultimately, they want to see that your business is making money. You have to think about it. They're not just about to give money to somebody that has been spending little bits of money, or even if you have been spending more, if you don't have any money coming in, you don't have any money to pay them back. Banks lend out to people that are the less risky looking, and the same thing goes for businesses. They're not going to give a lot of money to a business that isn't making any money, because they know most businesses are going to fail within the first few years. So what is the better route to getting the money that you need for your business, whether you are making money in your business right now, or you have a brand new startup that you don't have any revenue, but yet you still need to get money for your business? And you're trying to get something in those higher amounts, like the 50,000s, the 100,000s, the 150,000s, something like that. Well, the first thing that you have to understand is that the best route is going to be by using your personal credit score. And yes, that does mean that you're going to have good credit. And I know a lot of you guys, sometimes maybe your credit isn't where it needs to be, and that's why you're trying to go the no PG route. But look, it's tough treading, trying to do things that way, as I just explained to you. So the best thing that you can do to get the money that you need for your business the fastest, so that your business can be successful and have all the money that it needs to operate and grow, is to get your personal credit together so that you can use it as a PG, personal guarantee, to get this money that you need for your business. Now, even though this is the better route, don't think that it's just stupid easy or anything like that either. Now, the best route is almost always going to be a business credit card, and not just one, getting multiple with higher limits, so that you can have all of the funding that you need within a few cards. Let's say anywhere between 3 to 5 cards. Everybody goes to the bank looking to get a loan or something like that. And the fact is, with loans at almost all banks, they want you to be in business for 2 years, and some of you guys just don't qualify for that yet. You're also going to have to show more documentation going for a loan or a business line of credit. And a business line of credits also, for the most part, at most banks, is going to have that 2-year requirement on it as well, ruling out all you guys with brand new businesses. So by leaving those forms of funding alone and going towards the business credit card route, you actually open up more benefits to yourself, because first off, with business credit cards, there is no age requirement for your business. You can literally go in the same day that you started your business, or when you get your paperwork, and you can apply for a business credit card at most banks. At a lot of banks, there's no proof of documentation required, so you don't have to actually prove your revenue. And again, that's up to certain amounts. Once you put certain amounts, then they do require documentation. And also with the business credit cards versus the loans, basically you don't have to go and get a new one every time you need some more money. Once you've used the money from the business credit card and paid it off, you have it available to you to use it again whenever you need money for your business. That means you don't have to get an inquiry every time there's a new project that you need funding for, or you need to cover some expenses or pay employees in your business. You always have access to this money. Also, compared to a loan, as soon as you get it, you have to start making payments with the business credit card. If you get it, you don't have to make any payments on it until you actually use it for something. So it can be sitting there just waiting for you to need it. And then once you do need it, now you have access to that money to do whatever you need to do within your business. And you get rewards points for the things that you actually use the card for. So you're actually getting points back that you can use for other things within your business or for business trips. You're getting something back for the money that you're spending versus a loan or a line of credit or any other form of funding that you might try to get. All these things make the business credit card the best thing, but the harder part is usually getting the business credit cards approved a lot of times, but also getting it approved at those higher limits where you can do more with one card versus having a bunch of smaller limits on those cards. For example, like this card I got for a client, it basically is a charge card. So, with this, you are supposed to pay it off at the end of the month. But this is a platinum card, which these charge cards usually don't have a limit. But you can see the overspend limit gives you an idea of how much you can really spend on the card. That's supposed to be a representation of how much you can go over, like carry over your balance with. But it just gives us a little kind of checkpoint to know how much a person can really spend on this card, even though it can be different, as in you might have the ability to spend more than what they tell you on that limit. But like that one being $35,000, and imagine you just having one more card like that that's not a charge card, it's just a regular revolving card. With those two cards by themselves, you would be at $70,000. Now, there are people that don't make $70,000 in a year, and you would have that much in credit available to you to spend to grow and operate your business. Imagine what you can do with that. Now, keeping that in mind, and it's also possible to get credit cards at limits of $50,000, $75,000. I've helped my clients reach those numbers before. But what you have to remember, the part about this that's hard is a lot of people, just like with the vendor accounts, thinking that they can basically trick the bank and give them a bunch of money by doing something that's fairly easy. You have to think about it. The banks aren't just about to give you $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 in business credit cards when you're providing them, no documentation. You just started your business yesterday and you have a 750 credit score because your grandma added you as an authorized user on her credit cards. There's a science to it and a little bit of an art to getting this done. But if you have your personal credit score high as it needs to be, you have a personal credit profile that is built out in exactly how the banks like to see it. And that's not just with no credit cards or not even $1,000 in personal credit cards on your credit profile. If you have your business entity structured properly, and that's not just dealing with the name and the phone number and the address and all of that. There's certain things you need to have in regards to how your business is set up to help as an additional layer in making those higher limits possible. You have to know what banks are giving out the higher amounts of money and which banks are the more stingy banks. You have to know what order you should go to the banks in so that you can get multiple cards without shooting yourself in the foot by going to this bank before going to this bank, and you really should have went to this one first. And now you can't go to this bank because you went to this bank first. All of these things play a role in you not only getting approved, but you also getting those higher limits so that you can have access to, 50, 150,000 for your business. And by going with the personal guarantee, you are skipping the line and you're able to instantly get money for your business. And I say instantly because you can apply online and, get approved. But ideally for those high limits too, you also want to go through a banking relationship manager, which with some of them, you do have to have a certain number of assets or have a business with a certain amount of revenue to get access to those people. And that's something that I leverage for my clients. But all of these things play a part. As I said, it's the art and the science to being able to get those higher limits and get approvals and get all of the money that you need for your business and get it faster than taking all of the time that it takes to build up those vendor accounts and then still needing to have a lot of revenue coming in order for the lender to justify wanting to give you money. Now, if you need help getting funding like this for your business, make sure that you go click the link down in the description to do a funding strategy session with me. And as I mentioned, getting your credit score to a higher point beyond the 700 mark is important to you actually being able to get this type of money for your business. So if your credit score isn't where it needs to be and you're trying to get it up, learn how to get up by at least 150 points right here. And if you want to learn more about some of the banks to go to get higher amounts of money, then check out this video right here. And I'll see you guys in the next one.